I get designers coming to me every single week complaining about how bad their clients were, but there are some few things that you can do in order to improve the chances of getting the best possible client every single time. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Hey designer, Alex here, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we're going to talk about 5 different ways that you can approach your client search in order to increase the chances of getting the best possible one. But before we get started, make sure to check out my membership. Link is going to be down in the description below. Membership contains all of my courses, digital design products, private access to the Facebook group, practice files for these YouTube videos, and much more. So if you're interested in content like that, make sure to check it out. Once again, link is going to be down in the description below. Tip number 1 is find your niche, because when you find your niche, you can understand your clients better, you can understand their problems, you can understand how to solve those problems and how to help those clients the best possible way. That way, you're going to reduce the chances of getting the bad clients because you're always going to be ahead of them and understand what they need, so you can approach in a friendly sort of manner to these projects because you did these projects before, you helped out their competition, you understand what are the values that their products or services can provide to their customers, and therefore you can understand how to solve their problems and how to help them better in a way that they are going to truly appreciate. Tip number 2 is to vet your clients. What I mean by this is you should be prepared with a test and you should send them this test as soon as they contact you. So don't try to learn more about their project, don't try to learn more about them, who they are, what they do. Just send them this test. If they fill this test and come back to you, then good, you can progress from there. If they don't fill this test and simply deny it or simply leave or forget about it, then that's great also, because they are probably not the best fit for you. What should you be putting in this test is also up to you, your niche, and where you like to work. For example, I always like to put in my vetting tests who they are as a company, how big the company is, how big the project is. For example, I always like to tell them my deadline, my way of work, my requirements. For example, I like to work in Adobe XD, so if they're not fine with XD, they can leave straight away without wasting their time, without wasting my time. I also like to talk about the budget right there, because if they're not happy with my budgets and with the money that I like to ask from my clients, then they can leave. That's great as well, because it's going to save us both a lot of time. So vetting your clients before you even talk to them, before you even talk about their project, before you even learn more about their project is great time saver, because you're going to simply vet the good clients from the bad clients, and then you can simply move on with the good clients, continue with the design brief and project details. Speaking about the design brief, always have one. Always have design brief ready, create the template up front, always use that template, because in that design brief, it's going to help you understand your client's problems, it's going to help you ask the right questions, it's going to reduce the number of time you spend with your clients, with interviews and understanding what they truly need from a project. So have your questions prepared in this design brief before you go into the call with them. Then during the call, during the email conversation, whatever, you can ask them these questions to better understand what they truly need. What you need to include in your design brief, of course, varies from your customers and your niche, but what I like to include in mine are the number of employees in the company, the size of the company, the market where they are, who are their target customers, what is their age, what is the demographic, what are the KPIs, for example, and what is their target market audience, what is the product they are trying to push to this audience, and what is the product trying to solve, and how the product is going to help their users. So I like to understand all of these details before I move in with the next step, which is the starting of the design, the starting of the research, because in this step I understand and I learn best what they truly need from this project to get done first and what they need to get done later. Always have a contract prepared. When you have a contract template prepared, you can always edit it with their information and then you can send it over for them to sign. When you have a contract, it gives it certain dose of seriousness, of professionality, and clients understand that you are truly professional about what you do when you have a contract. Also, there is a legal binding in that contract, so they cannot screw you over, for the lack of better term, and it gives it a certain dose of accountability with the deadlines, with the payment, and with the deliverables at the end of this project. So always make sure to have a contract. There are premium and free online resources where you can create a contract specifically for your type of project. So do that, and the next time your client approaches you, make sure to fill in their information about who the key people are in the company, how long this project is going to take, how big is the deadline, the payment, and so much more. And speaking about the payment, the last tip is always get paid upfront. What I recommend to designers is always get paid 50% upfront, because that way it gives it the certain accountability for your clients, because they paid you, and it gives you as a designer a certain peace of mind because you got paid. So no matter what happens during or after this project, you always got that money upfront. Next payment, or the last payment, however you want to structure it, is going to be at the end of the project before you send the final files over, because that way, once again, you're going to secure yourself from this particular client, and you're going to deliver what you promised in the contract and in the payment structure. You can structure your payment however you want. For example, you can structure 3 equal payments, so one at the start, one at the middle, one at the end. But what I always recommend is 50% upfront, 50% at the end. You can also schedule monthly payments however you want, but make sure whatever you're doing to structure it in your contract, so it's easier for your clients to understand, and it's easier for them to follow and to get accountable for later at the end of this project if something goes wrong. So there you go, those are my 5 tips which I like to follow and which I like to advise to my students. Let me know what you think. Do you have any other tips? Leave them down in the comments. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe to this channel, because I upload new videos every single week about Adobe XD, passive income techniques, design, and a lot more. So if you're interested in content like that, make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.